Joe, I think one of the best images I've seen out of this Padres clubhouse has been the pictures of you guys with Paddy the Baddy.
Yeah, Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Pretty new into the UFC, I think 2 fights or so, but I caught word of him right before he came over to the UFC, so I saw his last fight before he entered UFC, and then I've seen his last 2, and he's a really entertaining fighter, fun to watch. His charisma and his energy is kind of infectious, so having him out to the game and for that to be his first baseball game against the Dodgers in a packed stadium, an extra inning walk-off win was super exciting, and then he came in the clubhouse to celebrate with us after, so that kind of made everyone's night.
What was his breakdown of his first Padres game then, or his first baseball game?
It was just funny hearing the terminology that he was using. I think he was kind of figuring out the game on the fly there, so he was really excited. He's definitely going to come back. He's got one of his training partners, a female, that's coming out here in a week or 2, so he's going to come back out and hang out with us, but I think it was just as exciting for us to talk a little bit of fighting as it was for him to talk baseball.
I love that pick for a couple of reasons. Number one, we haven't had access to the clubhouse for the past couple of years until this year. Will Myers made an interesting comment that one of the biggest impacts Bob Melvin has had as manager is staying at the clubhouse, like leaving that to the players. How much of a big deal is that for guys?
Yeah, it is. It's huge. It gives us a chance to, sometimes you feel like there's not, eyes on you, so everyone's, themselves a little bit more. But the teams I've been on in the past that are real good, it's, the less you see your manager, the better it is for everybody. And not that we dislike Bob in any way at all. It's just, you give us the freedom to go be ourselves. And I think the more he stays out of the clubhouse, it kind of forces us into a little bit more of leadership roles, of, a little more accountability amongst one another. We're kind of policing things ourselves and keeping everybody on track that way. So it's been nice.
Camaraderie looks apparent. How is that camaraderie developing with all the guys?
Yeah, much different than last year. I think the realization last year that we didn't do the things we should have done, and we didn't, stay as close away from baseball as we should have. We've made a conscious effort to involve ourselves in things away from the field more and kind of, remove the baseball talk and the baseball atmosphere and just go out and have fun and do things together as a group. And then the few additions we've had, and Manaea has been a big part of that. High energy guy, funny dude. Adding those guys in the clubhouse has been a big change for us.
Quick on Sean Manaea. When you look at him, do you see Aquaman or do you see the dude from Game of Thrones, Khal Drogo?
I guess I'd see a little more. I guess the same guy, right? But I see a little more Aquaman in him. But yeah, his personality is awesome. He's a great teammate. He's always there supporting everybody when it's not his day to throw, and that's something that starters you look for. Everyone knows what that feeling's like on a start day, of the anxiety and the pressure and the nerves and stuff. So to have your guys around you is an awesome feeling.
Real quick, 3 more. You said leadership and accountability. You're a clear leader of that locker room. Who else are the guys that have stepped into that role?
Yeah, Haas and Manaea are 2 of the biggest ones. Haas is more of, the vocal leader. He's the guy whose voice holds a lot of power in there, so when he speaks, everyone listens. Same thing with Manny, and I think Manny leads a little more on the field, just the way he carries himself, and he almost is forced into that leadership role just by being the type of player he is. When he comes to the plate, if he's going, everyone's going. So everyone kind of brings a little something different to the table. I think it's just about finding out what it is that you bring out the best in everybody and capitalizing on that.
What do you look forward to most when you go back to Pittsburgh to go ahead and face your former team?
Just the atmosphere, I love the Pittsburgh fans. They're diehard baseball fans and sports fans in general. And, they've been dying for a winning team for a long time. And I think they just appreciate the blue-collar mentality of hard-working players that, don't take things for granted and, put their best foot forward every day. So I always enjoy going back there, seeing the guys, too.
Last question. When you were a Padres fan watching Jake Peavy at the Q and the Dodgers came into town, who was the biggest Dodgers nemesis and who is it now?
Let's see. Kershaw probably back then. He was in his absolute prime back. Yeah. That was not at Qualcomm, I guess, but for the first couple of years I was coming here, he was the best pitcher in the league. So him, and then I always enjoyed watching Adrian Gonzalez on our side. I won an award for athlete of the year in high school, so I got to come out and receive an award with Adrian Gonzalez on the field, and that was pretty cool for me. Yeah.